All right, so no build guide, unfortunately. Sucks because I already do have the script already written, but I just don't have enough time to actually record and edit. With this job I am working, so yeah. Uh, Hopefully I can try to get ahead of the curve with Jane Doe and get that out, a little bit before the actual release. So it's already out there, so people can watch it. And if they do want to pull for Jane Doe, you know, build guide's already out there. So today instead we're going to talk about comparing the two 1.1 patch characters, that being Jane Doe, and then obviously being Qingyi, who is already out. And she is really, really good. However, I do think Jane Doe is actually really strong as well. So we already know what Qingyi does. She is very prevalent in building up her, what is it, the electric, the flash connect voltage is really where she shines. Her third basic attack, you're able to just hold or just keep tapping the attack key, and she keeps, just doing lots and lots of damage, holding it down, burst of damage, and just, progressing from there is where she really just excels. That's her primary function, also as a main damage dealer. I do think she is really, really good. Right here on the Genshin Lab website, they have her as S rank. I fully agree. And they also have Juyen and Ellen Jo as S rank. I agree with both of those as well. Jane Doe, they have S, or not, I'm sorry, that's their actual rank. I'm a dummy. But in terms of like tier list, they have her with the other two. Jane Doe, I do think, is going to be vaulted into that spot. Um, they don't have her on the tier list because she's officially not out yet until her banner is released. But a little quick rundown in Jane Doe is that she's going to be a physical damage dealing unit. She's going to be an anomaly unit, which I do have lists up here as to other characters that are going to benefit individual characters. Essentially, what Jane Doe does is she just attacks, and starts slowly building up her overall damage so that she just is crazy, is pretty much it. Her whole premise is she wants to get into this passion state where if you perform a perfect dodge, defensive assist, or even just dealing damage to the enemy, she's going to accumulate the passion stream. Once she reaches a maximum, she's going to enter the passion state. And then, as you can see here, Jane's physical anomaly buildup rate is increased by 25%. That is very, very good. And then her proficiency with anomaly exceeds 0.15 points. Each extra point raises her attack by 2 up to a maximum of 600. So you have an inherent damage boosting ability in her kit, which is already freaking amazing, being a damage dealing unit. And like I said, she just wants to get in there and start doing damage. This is really where you want to focus. Jumping over here to her cores, we can see that when she attacks an enemy with her insight core skill, it causes them to enter the nod state, lasting for 10 seconds. If a squad member triggers assault on an enemy in the nod state and causes flinch effect, the flinch effect is increased by 5 seconds. Then assault damage has a chance to trigger a crit with each base crit rate of 20 to 40%, crit damage of 50. Each point of Jane's anomaly proficiency further increases this crit rate by 0.1 to 0.6%. So not only is she, have an inherent attack buff in her own kit, but she provides very good support for whoever else is on the team. Additionally, if you have somebody else that is of anomaly or of the cop core, her physical anomaly buildup rate increases by a further 15%. And when the enemy is already suffering from an attribute anomaly, which typically Jane is going to be inflicting because she's an anomaly damage unit, her physical anomaly buildup towards the target is further increased by 15%. We're talking 30% right there. Jump back up to her basic attack, and then the buildup is 25, so 55% of physical anomaly buildup rate. And then it's just further increasing her overall damage proficiency. So they're both very, very strong. Do I think there is a preference? Not necessarily. Now, granted, if you do pull Qingyi and then you end up pulling Jane Doe, I think that is going to be a beautiful pairing. And then Juyen, that's a good 3 trifecta because you do have Jane Doe providing support for the team, and I believe that Qingyi also does the same thing from the top of my head. It's the subjugation, and then the um, just basic attack 20% increase to dazed enemies. So yeah, they're both very, very good, and it's just honestly, it's really just pull for who you want to. So in terms of team building, obviously, like I said, we have the police corps with these two units, and Yen being the third. We also have the new defensive guy. I forgot the name of him. I actually have not looked it up. Another police corps member. However, anomaly. What other anomaly characters do we have in the game? It is just Grace and Piper. So that sucks, because you can either have another police cop member or an anomaly unit. These are the only other two options, so it's not that great. Whereas the electric for Qingyi, you have Grace, who's she blends better with Qingyi. Rena, who's very good. Anton is pretty okay, and then Ambi I personally like. So those are the options. Obviously, we're gonna get more anomaly characters coming out in the game. Not too worried about that. So, well, if we go to stun too, because also stun characters. Lycone paired up with Qingyi, very deadly. Further increases her overall capabilities. Lycone helping her out. But in terms of so if team building wise, Qingyi is easily better because she could be run as a sub DPS damage dealing unit. Jane Doe, she needs more anomaly characters, honestly. Game. If we jump up to the actual physical units who do physical damage, it's a little better given the fact how it's Nekomata, but it's just not that great. So team building options for Jane Doe is really limited to the police corps, whereas for Qingyi it is very broad and abundant and very good. But like I said, in the future, we're going to be getting more anomaly characters, so I do think Jane Doe, future-proof wise, is going to be slightly better than Qingyi. Right now, she's very, very strong. I do recommend people to pull her. Personally, I think I might try for Qingyi, but my goal is Jane Doe.